All right, we're getting things set up. We'll be with you in just a minute. Oh, let's see here. Nope, view channel, video, there we go. Okay. Yep. Let's see, is this right? We are public, good. Okay, copy the video link. And let's paste it over to social media. We are getting everything posted to social media, and I'll be starting as soon as I get that done. Copy. Copy that. Tweet that. Okay, and tweet that. Post that. And tweet that. Post that. Should be good. Now, check my audio. Make sure that's good. And we'll be ready to roll. Testing, testing. That sounds good. All right. Put this away. Put this away. Turn this off. There we are. All right. Well, hello. Welcome to Board Games with Scott Live. This is a show where I explore a game by playing it a little bit. I started this show during the pandemic because I was getting pretty frustrated and depressed with having these piles of games that had come in through Kickstarters and pre-orders and no one to play them with. And normally I'm a game professor and I have a game lab to go and present games. Hello, Jordan, too. And it's nice to have some people now to chat with as I'm exploring the game. So some of this is talking about the game. Some of this is talking about my thoughts about the game from a game design professor perspective. So that's the idea, is to explore the game with you. And so I am watching the chat. So if you have comments, they take about 30 seconds to get to me, just so that you know, because of the latency that's going on here. Also, as a warning, I live in the country in rural Ontario. Therefore, my internet is a satellite dish, and therefore sometimes it doesn't work so well. I've had the stream end. I've had the stream get low quality. I'm doing what I can do. But still, you should come away with an idea if this is a game that you want to hunt down. And so today's game we're going to be exploring is called Rap Godz by Omar Akil and Hamoud Dennis. And so in this game, it explores the rap industry. And the idea, you're a rap artist, and you're going to be releasing your first 3 albums. And the game is about you having that adventure and going through those early stages. The game does that through several decks of cards that you play through as you go through 3 albums. And so you track that. There's some pretty cool things they've done with this game. They've made this slider that makes it look like a little turntable slider that you go from album 1, 2, and 3 to track the albums and the tracks. In this game, turns are, you advance this after each turn. So after each player has a chance to play a card, you're then going to advance the track. So the game runs for 15 rounds. You go 5 rounds, then you move up to the next album, another 5 rounds, another 5 rounds. So 15 rounds in total to win the game. Now, to win the game, you're trying to accomplish these cool little records. You've got bronze and gold and platinum. And so these are your points in the game as you're trying to accumulate these. They're actually, the components in this, it's a Kickstarter game, so you've got these nice little reflective albums. That's pretty neat. And it's got this kind of massive gold coin here that is your start player marker. So, hey, Kickstarter, So one thing, as always, I appreciate it when a game designer puts a gameplay summary on the back of the rule book because it makes it easy when you're doing something like this to refer to what's going on during the game. So what's going to happen in the game is you're going to be getting cards into your hand. You're then going to be playing a card, and then you're going to apply the effects of the card. And the main thing that you're doing is you're getting these three statistics up. So this record represents how you track your three main statistics. So you've got money, you've got microphone, you've got road. So these are three different elements of what's going to be going on. So as you move around the board, you will then, the first person to hit some of these locations will get a little bonus token. That's top secret. I don't know what it is. So that's a reason to jump out in front of your opponent. I've set the game up for 2 players, or purple and yellow, and I'll be playing through it as a 2-player game and explaining the decisions I'm making as we go. Now, I've already set the game up, and so each player you have a starting city, and that shows you where you start on the board. So we've got our characters here. We have Wellingsworth, who is from Philadelphia. So characters will have several things. So they may have a special ability. So in this case, they've got, he gets a bonus for yellow cards. They may have an end game bonus to go for, so he wants to go for money. And they may have a once a round activity. So this person, at the end of each album, at the end of each round, you can discard any number of cards before drawing cards for the next album. And we're playing against Lyriclips. And so Lyriclips doesn't have her special ability. Once per album, take an extra turn. She wants microphones, but she doesn't have any sort of special ability for certain colors of cards. She's from Toronto. By the way, I learned this at the Border Services Agency when I was coming into Canada. They said, "Where are you going?" I said, "I'm going to Toronto." And the border guard said, "No, you're not going to Toronto. We don't have a place called Toronto." I said, "What do you mean?" They said, "We have a place called Toronto." So he said, "Where are you going?" And I said, "I'm going to Toronto." And he said, "That's right. Now you can go." So this happened at my border experience coming into Canada at one point. So from Toronto, which is where I live, about 90 minutes away from Toronto, and about 90 minutes away from Niagara Falls. So that kind of gives you an idea of where I am. So you're going to start with a hand of cards, and then you're going to draw a card, then you're going to play a card. Now, I've talked about this on previous episodes of this show, and I'm going to mention it here. Anytime in a game, when you're designing a game, if you make it so the players have to draw the card at the start of the turn, then there's this process where they have to draw the card, read the card, and everyone watches as they read the card. And it's always better in games to have the players draw their card at the end of their turn instead, because that gives them time to read the card and figure out what they want to do while other people are taking their turn. It gives them something to do, and it speeds up the game. So in any game you're making, if you want to speed up gameplay, have the players draw their card at the end of their turn instead of at the beginning of their turn. Many times I will suggest that as a house rule in a game. I'm not going to do that here because I'm demonstrating the game. But as a house rule, if it doesn't seem like it's going to break the game, and in this game I don't think it would break it much to have players draw their card at the end of the round instead of the start of their round, just to speed up gameplay. Now, you're going to start with 5 cards each. Now, there's 3 decks of cards, one for each of the albums, and so the cards get bigger in number, and the themes of the cards fall into line of what you do at the start of your career. Hello, Kit. Medium career, later career. So what you're trying to do in this is, as I mentioned earlier, you're raising your statistics as you play the cards. And the reason why is because you have goals. So in this game, the goals are attached to the locations. So Toronto, your goal is to get the most blue cards. And so the BL here says blue cards. Philadelphia goal is to get the most pink cards. And then with 2 players, you add in a city that's not in the game. So also Miami is in play, and Miami wants you to get the most money. So those are 3 goals we're going for in the game. There's also other goals that are based upon elements in the game. So the champ is always in play. The champ is most beef cubes at the end of the game. Beef is when you play an aggressive card against the other player and succeed. Hat trick. So hat trick is first player to have 3 in a row of the same color of their timeline. We'll talk about that in a minute. And well-rounded, first player to reach 20 on all the resources. So there's a whole bunch of these discs. Every game you're going to have different discs in play. So you're going to have goals that are related to the most of something, and you're going to have goals that are related to other things. And so as you accomplish those goals in different ways, you'll accumulate points, kind of like if you remember we played Point Salad on this show recently, that idea of you're getting points in a lot of different places, and then at the end, whoever got the most points wins. So we're going to go ahead and start. And start player, I forget who the first start player is. The player with the most streets. All right. So we are So they say the player with the most streets. So now I've got to remember which of the marks is the streets. Looking for some place here where it tells me that. I would guess it would be the thing that's got the road on it, wouldn't it? I guess so. All right, there you go. So streets is the road. The player with the most streets is going to be the person from Philly, Wellingsworth, the rapper. So Wellingsworth is going to start and gets the big gold coin, just to remind you who's going to start. That's a big thud. And so we're ready to go. So the cards, I'll show you what the cards do. So the cards, they've got there's going to be theme and artwork. This is the thing about cards in games, and I have to blame, I think Magic the Gathering did this pretty badly, and a lot of people have done it. All of that stuff on the card, the only thing that actually matters is the stuff in that top corner. The color and the numbers, that's all that matters. Everything else, the rest of there is just flavor. And so that's all you have to do. Now, the good thing that they did is they put that information in the index of the cards. When you're designing cards, you want to make it so that the information that's critical to the players can be found. So I can quickly look and see, oh, okay, this is what I need to see. I can see the color. I can see what I'm going to get for that. And I'm going to see any requirements the cards have. Some cards have requirements. As you can see, this one has a lock and key. And on the key, it shows money and the number 4, which means I have to have a 4 in money before I can play this card. So this card is locked. Now, something that's just a cute little thing they've done is the way that these cards have the chains on them. If you stack up the chains, you see how it makes one chain? So if you stack up all your cards like so, it makes one chain. So that's kind of a cool thing. But all the rest of this, all the rest of the stuff on the card, in fact, 90% of what's on the card doesn't really have a gameplay, but it has a thematic exploration. So we are going to talk about the themes on the cards that we'll play as we explore this game. But it's always something to think about. What portion of your card actually is helping the players play the game? And is it such that you want to rethink that? Now, think something like Dominion, where they put the information not in the index, makes it very hard to deal with the game, because then you have to look at the whole card. But it's something just to consider, is what you've actually, how much of your card is actually providing gameplay information as compared to how much is providing theme. And this is why, and I'll talk about this with this game as I talk about it with many games, you want to think about how do you integrate that theme into the gameplay? How do you make sure that the two are married, that the story that the players are engaging with is married to the activities that they're doing? And so we'll talk about that a little bit more as we go through this game. So first, so this character, my goals here are I want lots of dollars, because if I get 35 or more dollars, then I'm going to earn lots of records. I want lots of yellow cards. That's important to me. If I look at the various goals that are in play, I want lots of blue cards. I want lots of pink cards. I want lots of money. So that's convenient. Lots of money and lots of money. That gives this player an advantage that those map up. And then I want beef cubes are good. Those are cards that are attack cards. I don't have any of those right now. Oh, I do. I do have one of those. So these red cards with negative, that's a beef card. That's an attack card. It's going to hurt the other player instead of helping you. And in this case, it's aligned with one of the goals in the game. And then I want 3 cards of the same color in a row on my timeline, and I want to get 20 on all the resources. So this is a game that's Point Salad, rap version, where you want to make sure and accumulate as many of these different goals as you can. So I'm going to get started. Now, I know I want dollars. It's good to race for these little benefits. So the first person to 10, 20, 30 gets a little chip, which is a one-time benefit. It's an extra card or helps you on a beef or something like that. Those are good to look for opportunities to try and get. I don't have any money. Oh, I forgot part of the game. The come-ups. Hello, kitty. Did you come to say hi? The come-ups are cards that are more powerful in the game. So you're going to have some of these available. The number of these are going to be available is based on the number of players. They are better. So if with 3 players, I'm going to have 3 of these, and that's why I'm not lining them up with the the spaces because I want to be able to read them easily. So these are more powerful versions. To get those, so on my turn, the first thing, as I mentioned earlier, first thing you do is you draw a card. So I either can draw a card or I can discard 3 of my cards and get one of these come-ups cards. So I can get rid of 3 cards, but then I don't draw 3. So until that, for the full album, for that full round, I'm going to be at a disadvantage if I do that. And that's actually a nice little gameplay element, that I give up 3 of my cards in order to get 1 good card. And I know I have that good card, but then I'm going to only have 3 cards for my choice for the rest of the game. I could then do it one more time. I could give up all 3 of my cards for 1 more good card. But then for the rest of that, or for the rest of the round, not the game, for the rest of that round, I'm just going to have to play the card I've drawn. And so that could be a great disadvantage. So it's kind of nice. One time in the round, you can go for something really nice and it won't hurt you too much. 2 times in the round, if you go for something really nice, it will hurt you. You're playing off of the odds at that point to see if it works out. And that can be bad because if you remember, some cards have requirements. And if you don't meet the requirements for a card, you can't play it. So you could really be out of luck if you did that. So I wouldn't recommend going for these powerful cards twice in a round till maybe the last action of the round. That's not a bad time to do it. We'll talk about why later. So here we go. So I've got no money. That was one of my goals, was to get lots of money. I've got lots of streets. I got some microphones. Or I could just right away attack the other player. That seems kind of nasty because I don't do that sort of thing. So no money. Is there money up here? There is money up here, but I'd have to give up 3 cards for it right away. I'm also thinking about, I want to look for a chance to get 3 cards on my timeline that are the same color. I see I have a blue here. There's 2 blues up there, but I don't really have that. So I'm just going to get rolling on something. I think we'll start with a blue card. I'm going to drop a new mixtape, putting Grandma's Pension to good use. Now, that gets me, it shows me on the top of the card what I get for that. I'm going to get 3 records. So 3 of these record tokens and 2 microphone. And I am purple, so 2 microphone moves me to there. The cards then go into a timeline. And so the timeline, what's kind of cool about the timeline is because this game does have a story element to it, you can see what's happened to your character over the 15 actions in the game. That's also where this is your timeline for things like if I can get 3 in a row of the same color in my timeline, that's going to give me an advantage. I'm also looking to get yellow, of which I drew none. Okay, so that's Wellingsworth's turn. Now it goes to Lyriclips's turn. So again, we draw a card. Now Lyriclips wants microphones. That's her goal, plus everything else we've talked about on the board. So let's see what we got here. So we got a beef card. We got 2 with microphones, but both have requirements. So one of them is a requirement. It's a microphone with a requirement of microphones. I have 4 microphones, so I could actually play this one. The other one is a requirement for streets. And so for streets, I'm going to, on my streets, I'd need 4 streets, of which I have 0 streets. And I only have 1 street I could get. So that one I may not be able to get. That's a good candidate for a card to throw away to go for one of these good cards. But for now, I think we're just going to start out and get the microphone with my complex rhyme scheme with alliterations, metaphors, and similes. Oh my. So I get 2 of these 2 records sales and 3 microphone tokens. And I am yellow with this character. And that's that. Now I advance to track 2. This is our turn order. So that's 1 round. We're going to do that 14 more times and the game is over. So now we go back here. Now, if I wanted one of these good cards, right now is when I would spend 3 of my cards to get a good card. I wouldn't draw and then do that. So your choice is to acquire a card either by drawing 1 or by spending 3 of your existing cards to get a good card. So there's that. Now that's another blue card. Okay, so what I'm thinking is I've got 2 blue cards in my hand. There's blue cards here, so I might be able to go for that 3 cards in a row just by doing that. So I might as well do it. So we're just going to start by having a local news story on me. So there we go. The news covered me. Now notice how the story here in album 1 is you're a new artist. So you dropped a mixtape. You got a local news coverage. So for that, I sell 2 records. So I get 2 of those and I get 2 streets. So there we go. Now we go over here. I got to make sure I keep these separate a little bit better because I'm so neat and tidy with all my games. So here, so I got money, and I'm not really getting anywhere. I can see I want to get more streets out, so I'm going to go ahead and play my streets card. I'm going to donate to my high school. So showing my connections there. So I get 2 album sales, 2 record sales, so 2 more of those, and 1 streets for yellow. Track 3. So I'm back over here, draw a card. Now I got a money card. That's good, but I don't want to interrupt my chain of 3 cards. So I'm going to go ahead and focus on my plan. I'm going to watch a beat making tutorial online. Boots and cats, boots and cats. So there we go. Becoming an expert with a collection of 6-minute videos. There we go. So I'll sell 2. So what I'm going to do to start making change is I'm going to give back 3 of my previously sold bronze ones and take 1 gold one. So because that's worth 5. And then I get 2 microphones, and that's purple. Ooh, I'm tied. Whoa, 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 whoa. So that's my second blue one, so I know what I'm going for there. Meanwhile, over here for layer clips. All right, so we got money. I got lots of money, which we could use. There is most money gets a goal. She wants microphones, though. I have not unlocked my streets. So I guess we're just going to get some money going here. So we have an endorsement from the barbecue joint. So I get 2 sales and 2 monies, and I am yellow here. So there we go. That goes in my timeline. Back over to here. Track 4. Draw a card. I drew a blue from here, so therefore I don't have to spend my 3 cards to go for the blue up there. Make a beat on my smartphone, so I'm going to do that. So I get 2 records. I get 2 microphones, and more importantly, that is now 3 blue in a row. That wins me the hat trick goal. So there you go. 10 points here. Here we go. All right. Back over to here for lyric clips. Drawing a card. And there we go. Lots of money. No streets. So I'm not going to be able to do that one. Okay, I'm going to attack. So here we go. So we've got money goes your head. So here's the way a beef card works. So beef is an aggression card. So when you have a beef with someone, I'm going to play that. So now dice come into play. Dice in my Euro game. All right. So Lyra Clips is going to roll her die, which is yellow. She gets to roll the red die as well because she's got the beef. To defend, Wellingsworth just has his single dice. So we're going to roll and see what happens. So in this case, the yellow plus the red is 7. The purple is 1. Therefore, Lyra Clips wins the beef off. Lyra Clips gives 1 beef cube to indicate that she successfully did a beef. This goes into the timeline. Now, strategically, had I been thinking and watching the game, I would have done that last round because that would have interrupted his row of 3 cards. So that's a strategy note that you can use these, and that goes in the loser's timeline to interrupt something they're trying to accomplish. So the game does have some take that stuff. So that goes over there. And he loses 1 of his album sales, and he loses 2 of his streets. All right, so that's how beef card or attack card works. We go into the final card of the round. This is a reasonable time to spend 3 for one of these because you're going to get your hand filled back up. There's one that's money, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. So I'm going to keep my money one because I may want that. I'll get rid of these 3 cards here in exchange for this, and then I can play that one. And that gets me 2 record sales and $3. All right, and then we go over here. Again, now anytime you spend 1 from here, you draw a new one. So she's wanting microphones. There's lots of microphones there. So I might as well, doesn't matter where I take it from. I'd rather get cards out of my hand because you're going to get your 2 cards in your hand to replace these. So the more you get out of your hand now, the better off you are. So I'm going to keep the one for microphones because that's my goal. And I'm going to get rid of 3 of these cards at this point. I'm going to take this one, take an audio engineering class. So that's going to get me some more record sales. So 2 record sales and 3 microphones. More importantly, that gets me to 10. 10 gets me the first chip. So this chip is going to give me +2 on a beef. So in the future, when I do beef, I can play this off after you roll the dice to add 2 to my beef attack. Where's the beef? All right, so that goes into my timeline. Now note that when you do beef, the other person's going to get the card, which may or may not be what you want based upon your timeline. As you saw earlier, had I been thinking, I might have been able to stop that 3 in a row by using a beef at an appropriate moment. So, oh, I forgot to use, she has an extra ability. Once per album, take an extra turn. Well, we'll do that now, shall we? So we mark with that to say we've used the ability for the round. So I get to do a full turn, which means I could, so I'm going to draw my card. Now what I can see has just popped up is finish a 2-year music production program, 6 microphones. That's her goal, is get microphones. So that's great. Oh, wait, I drew a card. So I didn't have 3 cards to be able to spend on that. So I can't actually do that. But I can. Do I have roads? I don't have streets. I did get another beef. So let's go ahead and beef it up, baby. So we're going to attack Wellingsworth. And so we roll the dice. So she got 6 to his 2, or to his 4. So she wins the beef off. So he loses 2 sales. I guess people don't like he got in a car accident, so they return the albums, because that's how people are. And loses $2. Dupe. So that makes Wellingsworth grumpy. So now we go to the end of the round. So at the end of the round, what you're going to do is you're going to move the album to number 2. You then will draw your hand back up. Now, Wellingsworth's action, special ability, is at the end of each album, can discard whatever you don't want, and draw new cards. So there's year 2 cards, which are better than year 1 cards. So now we're going to fill up with cards. So Now, let's talk for a minute about what's actually gone on. So if you noticed in the game, as I mentioned earlier, you're focused on those statistics in that top corner, and the rest of the card doesn't really come into play much. And have you noticed that? Have you noticed I've stopped reading all the cards because I'm focusing on the numbers. I'm focusing on the stats. And I don't know that I'm feeling like what I should be feeling. We talked about with Alma Mater, we talked about the books and what they actually meant. And so I'm missing a little bit understanding what's going on, feeling really like what I'm doing. I'm just matching colors and stats in the game. So just recognize that it's got Rap Godz paint on top of a gathering stats point salad game, and just recognize that's the sort of game that it is. So as I mentioned on one of my other videos, that's something I've become more and more sensitive to as I've been focusing on making games that convey messages, that convey values, and thinking about, well, how do the mechanics actually convey the values of what I'm trying to convey? So back to point salad, the game. I'm trying to get 20 points on everything. That's one of my goals. If I can get 20 on all 3, I can see I'm doing a horrible job with that. Again, Wellingsworth wants dollars, and Lyriclips wants microphones. Lyriclips has more beef cubes, so that's a good thing. But, and in round 2, I can see whoever has the highest microphone value gets the start coin. All right, there we go. That's the really heavy start coin, see? Okay. Sorry. All right, so now we go back over here. Now I want microphones. I have 1 that gives me microphones. I have 2 that give me microphones. Colors, well, I want blue and pink out there because I see I've got 2 blue, but he's got 3 blue, but no pink. So we're going to do our pink card. So I've been busted cheating. And so I was busted cheating. So therefore, I sold more records. So that's interesting. When you think about the values that your game conveys, the messages that your game conveys, I was busted cheating. Therefore, I sell more records and I get more things to talk about. I'll let you make a decision for yourself as to what values that is conveying to the player. So that is, did I draw a card first? I didn't. I need to remember to do that. Oh, well, we'll catch up with that. Wellingsworth over here. So Wellingsworth wants money. He's got 1 money card, but requires $8, which I don't have. So I need to play. This one requires 12 microphones, which I don't have. So you can see the requirements start to go up. But here I've got something I can play. I don't sell anything, but I make $4 get an income tax check. So there we go. $4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's interesting. The income tax check says I earned these dollars, which is very true. The income tax that you get back is money that you earned and paid the government already, and you're just getting some of that back because they're trying to make sure everyone pays their fair share. Yeah, I'm not going to do political commentary about that. Anyway, So back to over here. So I draw a card first. Oh, I forgot to draw a card for him. And this is track 2. Here we go. I want microphones. I have one with microphones. It requires 4 streets. I don't have any streets. There's 6 microphones sitting here on the board, and I'm really tempted to grab it because it's useful to me. I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get rid of the one requiring streets. I don't see that happening. I don't see that happening. And this one I'll get rid of. So I already cheated, didn't I? Yeah, I already drew a card. I can't do it this turn. I'll have to do it next turn. That's fine. We can get to it. I don't have 10 microphones. Beef time. Beef it up. Oh, wait. That would make him lose 5 money. He only has 2 money, so I want to save this for later. So I guess that one requires 4 streets, which I don't have. That requires 10 streets, which I don't have. That requires 12 streets, which I don't have. This requires 10 microphones, which I do have, so I can go ahead and co-star in a movie. Oh, out of control. Whoa, wait. Was that? Never mind. Truck door. All right, so we're going to take one of these. Oh, doing well. Okay, so play that in the timeline. Now we're back over here to Wellingsworth. So Wellingsworth wants money. So we're going to draw a card. And I've got a couple that are going to give me money. This one requires 9 streets. I'm a long way from that. This one requires $8. I'm a long way from that. See, this is a problem now in the game, is that you can get stuck because some of these cards have requirements that I can't yet meet. So I have to think about how to deal with that. These require microphones, 12 microphones. I have 9. Okay, so I can tweet something sweet. Oh, so this is to the person that was this. Oh no, the Lyric Clips was busted cheating. So we're going to get 4 record sales for that and 3 microphones for that, and that gives me 12, which I'm going to need for one of my other cards. So that goes into my timeline. Over here, now before I draw, I had a goal, and my goal was to get that 6 microphone card. So for that, I need to get rid of these 3 that have street requirements that I just don't see. So I'll get rid of those. I'll take this one. So this lets me finish a 2-year music production program, which makes sense. I already had my audio engineering class, so I'm going to do that. Oh, wait. Dope. I screwed up again. Undo. These are year 1 come-up cards. No, we need year 2 come-up cards. All right, there. Got to remember it's part of the between albums. You bring out new cards. So that one's much better because we got Auditorium Sellout. So that gets me 6 albums. Oh, out of control. 6. And $7. Oh. Just stole that away. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which gets me another magic chip, which is +1 card. So I can use that at some point to draw an extra card. That can be used to get another one of these in a round. That goes in my timeline. Screw them up. Replace. And now we are over here, and we are on track 3 now. So I see now there's an $8 that's out here, and that's his goal. He wants money, so he's going to go ahead and go for that. So these things that have high requirements, he's going to get rid of those. Wait, that's, they're money, but that's streets and its microphone is good. Streets is good. Microphone, oh, these are all reasonable cards, and they all give me more money. But that one gives me lots of money, so we'll go ahead and grab that one now. Actually, no, we're not. We're going to wait around and just draw a card because I don't think she's going to go for it, and I can get it later because I can use something now. So I have 12 microphone, and that satisfies that requirement. So I can get 3 money. I'm not doing very well. If my goal is to get that to 35 and I just hit 5, that's not very good. And I get 5 record sales. There we go. And this adds into the timeline. Another pink card. That's good. So now we're back to track 4 to Lyric Clips. I have fewer cards to choose from because I bought a special card. So now it's a little harder for me. Now I want microphones. I got microphones. This one requires me to have 8 microphones, and I have that. So I'll go ahead and do that. I'll make a song for a skate video while drinking cranberry juice. All right. Hey there, hashtag. Thanks for joining me. So I get $5, 5 albums, and 3 microphones. Microphone, and that goes in my timeline. So the nice thing about this timeline is it gives you a story of what you've done. You can look through these and see all the things that you've done. So that's kind of fun. Over here I had a goal, and that was to get one of those cards. I still have more cards that are going to give me money, though, and I want money. That one requires 8 money, which I don't have. I have microphones for 3 money, so that's good. I have no streets. Neither of us have streets. It was very difficult to get streets, clearly. We're just going to go and draw as normal. Oh, I got a beef card. And I'm going to make a song for a video game. So that sells 5 albums for me. So I got that. And 3 money. Getting somewhere. All right, and we move into the final track of the round. Here we go. Got to do something big. So if I could look and see if there's something. That one's 5 microphones. That one's 5 microphones. I could spend my +1 card to draw a card and then grab one of those. It would give me a blue card, which would be nice. I don't have the 4 streets. I could attack him, make him lose 5 money. Oh, that would make him grumpy, wouldn't it? Because he's busy getting all this money. I think it's time for some baby mama drama. So let's see what happens. So we roll the dice to see who has baby mama drama. Okay. So he got a 4, and she got a total of 3, because you add this. This is where my +2 on beef token comes into play. I say, ha, you're the baby mama. And I'll do that. And there we go. So the beef is successful. She gets another beef cube. Where's the beef? Loses 3 record sales. Here we go. And loses $5. Oh, that makes him grumpy, because that's one of his goals, is to try and get record sales. And oh, she's got her once per album, take an extra turn. I can go ahead and use that. So I'll do that. Draw a card. And I don't have 4 streets. I don't have 6 streets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play my +1 card token. So that gets me a card for free. And then I can get rid of all 3 of these cards to get one of these special cards. And I'll take the blue one because there's a card for the most blue. And so I'm going to drop a new LP. And that gets me 5 more record sales and 5 microphone. And that gets me another token. So that's +3 on a rap resource. So that's nice. That's going to give me ability to move up on 3, which might, I don't know, my streets are so bad. They're at 1. It's going to be really hard to hit 20 on all 3 of things. We're both in that situation. Wellingsworth, final action for the round. He is quite grumpy because we just lost money, which is something we've been trying to desperately do. So I have no streets to speak of, so I can't do that. My money card, I wanted my 8 money cards. So I'm just going to go ahead and throw away 3 of these to take this 8 money card, which says movie part. So there you go. And it comes with 5 more sales. So 5 more sales. And $8. That takes me to $11. Big movie part. And that takes us to the end of the round. Now his ability is he can throw away these cards. This one is worth 4 money. So he's going to keep that one. He's going to throw away that one. And we are now going to move into album 3. Final album. 5 more rounds and the game is over. So we deal cards 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. He doesn't get a 5th because he's already got 4. We throw these people away. Goodbye. And we bring out 3 new people. Ooh, big numbers. Look at them big numbers. $10, $9, 11 microphones. Out of control. I need a soundboard. Okay, so now we're getting some of these. That requires 26 microphones. So 3 of my cards are, I've got 2 beefs and 3 that all require high numbers on my cards. So I might be spending cards for those things in the middle. And so we'll look over here and we got, this is not quite so bad, but yeah. So what happens is both the requirements ramp up and the cards. So that's a strategy note, is you don't want to let, like, our streets are so low that we're probably not going to be able to play any cards with streets on either player. In round 3, we look for the person with the most dollars. That is still Lyriclips. So, and we are off. Now, Lyriclips wants 35 microphones. We'd like to get 20 on each resource, but to do that, we need a lot of street. I've got some attack cards, but I'm doing pretty well in the beef, so I don't really need to play those. I'd need 26 mic to play that, which I'm close. I'm at 22. that might be worth trying to get. I have 14 mic to play this one, which I've got. So I guess we'll do that. We're going to star in a Broadway musical. Well, there you go. 8 more record sales. So we will take 5 and 3 ones and $7. Whoosh. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gets me this little bonus, which is +2 on beef. Oh, she's all about the beef. About the beef. I didn't draw a card for her. I need to do that. All right, back over here, Wellingsworth. So yellow cards would be good if I can play them. This one requires 12 money, which I do not yet have. This one requires 14 microphone, which I don't have. This one just gets me 8 street, which is nice. This one requires 8 money and gets me 4 more money. So I think I'm going to do that because I've got the requirement for it. So I'm going to buy my mom a car. Oh, that's nice. Bought my mom a car. So there we go. Gets 3 record sales and 4. I get money because I bought my mom a car. What? Anyway. Hello, Alfred. Thank you for joining me. And we're going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're back on track number 2. Oh, and I didn't draw a card. I got to remember to draw a card. Now these are pretty shit. This one's 11 microphones. That's really good because that's one of her goals is to get microphones. I've got one now, though, that gets me 7, and it's blue, and that's good, too. So I think that's what we're going to... Oh, draw a card first. Oh, follow the rules. I'm going to publish a book of poetry. There once was a man from Nantucket. So we're going to get 10... We get 8 record sales and 7 microphones. Mr. Microphone. You remember Mr. Microphone? Hi there. It's Mr. Microphone. What Mr. Microphone was... For those of you youngins out there that don't remember K-Tel Records and Ronco Pocket Fisherman, Mr. Microphone was a microphone that you could take out with you, and it would broadcast over, I forget if it was AM or FM, probably AM, I guess. And so if you had your car radio tuned in to the right station, you could talk in Mr. Microphone, and the commercial had this sleazy guy driving by with his windows down. How's it going, ladies? So there you go. I need a Mr. Microphone for the game. Anyway, I got distracted, and I don't remember what was going on. I just published a book of poetry. Right, so now it's over to Wellingsworth. Now, Wellingsworth needs money. I've got a 14 microphone requirement card. Oh, draw a card, unless I want to go for one of these. It might be time to start going for these big cards, just because I really need to... that's just 12 points straight out. I may actually keep that card. That's pretty attractive. I'll get rid of those 3, and I'm just going to go for this one, which is #1 song on hip-hop satellite radio. So that gets me 10 points straight up and $10. Woo-wee. 225. Whoosh. Nice. Nice. All right. Round 3 of 5, then the game will be over. So here... I'm looking at my situation. I want microphones. I've got the beef. I don't need more beef. Bring out a new come up. So I'd really like to get up to 35 microphones if I could. I'm at 29 now, so I just need 6 more. So that would be good. This one requires, I've got one here, but it requires 22 street. So that isn't going to happen. I've got a beef negative microphone on him. This one requires 14 microphones, and it's 7. So we'll do that. We're going to have a benefit concert for peace. Did we draw a card? We're only at 5 cards. We should be at 6, so we're going to draw a card first. Okay, so we have our benefit concert for peace. That sells me 8 more records. So we'll do that. And 7 microphones. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That gets me this special thing, plus 1 card. That could be quite useful. And more importantly, now that I cross 0, I get to bigify my cube. My little cube goes to our big cube. Big cube. I don't remember what number I was on. I think I was there. Okay, there we go. I got big cube. So that's that. I'll go over to Wellingsworth. Now, I only have 2 cards because I spent 3 on a goodie, so I have to deal with that fact. I'm wanting more money, and so this one requires 14 microphones. And I have... one thing I do find hard, while the album is cute and in theme, it does make it harder to read what's going on. That's compared to if the track were straight. I find it takes extra time to kind of parse out where I am with multiple players and all of that. So I find this a little difficult to read at times. I understand why they did it, but the president loves me. Wait, that's a good thing? Ugh. Anyway, the president loves me. So we're going to take 10 points for that. And we get 7 money for that. See, like now I'm looking for the purple money, which is here. 7 money. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So I'm at 32. If I can get 35, I get 15 bonus. And I get +3 on a rap resource. That could be very convenient. That goes in the pile there. Track number 4 over here. So take a card. Wait, before I take a card. So I now have, my microphone is at what it needs to be. I've got my 35. I don't need that. I could try to get my streets up to 20. There's nothing with big street jumps. I could, what I can do is be a jerk. How about be a jerk? Beef time. Forgot your lyrics on stage. So we're going to attack Wellingsworth. So she got a total of 9. He got a 3. So he got beefed. I've been beefed. Loses 5 sales. And more important, loses 5 microphone. Oh, cruel. Wait, microphone. 5 microphone. That's not what I wanted. Anyway, fine. There you go. All down. There's the beef. Wellingsworth, you jerk. All right, so now we go over here. We got a money card, but we need 26 streets to play it. That ain't happening. This one, we need 12 money to get 8 streets. I could do that, or just 12 points. I'm just going to take 12 points. I think that sounds, I'm going to have a protest for social justice. And there we go. So that's a good value, you know, that's a good value to convey. So 12 points straight up. No muss, no fuss. Nothing else but 12 points, which is good. 12 points is more than these point rewards are. That's a pretty significant card. Last turn of the game. Don't screw it up. All right, so here we go. I've got more. Ooh, I could attack his money again. That would be nice. Attack the streets. I've got +3 on a resource. My streets, I can't get my streets to 20, so that's not worth trying for. I've got my +1 card token. I'll go ahead and use that to get another card because more choices. 18. If I have 18 streets, I get 8 more streets. Can't really do that. I've got +3 on a resource. Most money is going to be Miami. So do I have a way of, I could get 7 money for this one. Okay, I have 22. I could tie, or I could make him lose 4 money, which might take him away from his goal. So we're going to do that. We're going to beef it up. So beef time, label dispute, record release delayed. So we got 1 and 5, 6 to 1. So you got beefed again, buddy. So we drop 4 record sales and we drop $4, which is bad for him because he really wants that. She's just nasty. And might as well use this +3 on a rap resource. Doesn't really matter, so we'll take $3 because we can. And, oh, and now, once per album, take an extra turn. So here's her final ability. I could spend 3 cards and grab one of these $9 cards simply to try and push him out. And I'm going to do that. So I'm going to get rid of 3 cards. With my extra turn, I'm going to be a major music award winner for 10 more points and $9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So she's at 34. If he can't make it to 35, he doesn't get his bonus, and she has more than he does. That would make him very grumpy. So that goes in the timeline. Final round, final turn. I only have 2 cards, so I can't grab one of these things. I just have to grab and hope I get something nice. So this requires 18 streets. I don't have any. This requires 26 streets. I don't have that. And this requires 12 money. It's the only one I can play. It is yellow, which gets me some points. So I'll go ahead and do that. Drop 100K on a new car. And so 7. I get 7 record sales. And 8 streets. Hey, I got some streets, which gets me that token, which could be nice. Oh, okay. So these tokens are both +3 on a rap resource. So I'll go ahead and spend both of those for +6 on my money. Am I two, 1, 2, 3? I tied her, which puts me at 34, not the 35. So all of her beef caused me lots of grief. Beef for grief. It's a rhyme. Okay, that brings us to the end of Rap Godz. Now, do we feel like we've been Rap Godz? Well, let's find out. So now what we do is we evaluate all of these awards. So the champ goes to the person with the most beef cubes. That's Lyriclips. Bam! Well-rounded, the first person to reach 20 on all three. Ha ha, our streets never got up there. He was on his way. If he'd focused on it, he might have been able to pull that off. Oh, I forgot a very important thing. I forgot to ambigify the cubes. Oh, ambigify those purple and yellow. Bam! Big cubes. There you go. All right. Now we're going to give these rewards. Most blue cards. So Lyriclips has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blue cards. Over here we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, Lyriclips wins Toronto. That's where she's from. Most pink cards, Philadelphia. So anyway, I guess what I find interesting is there's not a, so while I'm from Toronto and I can see there's a home goal of most blue cards, there's nothing really about this card that helps me accomplish that, which to me would, if this is your hometown, it would seem that you would have some benefit that would help you get your hometown goal because you're kind of the hometown musician, but that's missing. Philadelphia, most pink cards. So 1, 2, 3, and 1. All right, so the Wellingsworth wins Philadelphia. So both of them did win their home. Miami, most dollars. Ooh, it's a tie. I got to look at the rules. Rules. Ties. There we go. If there's a tie, split points evenly. So both people get 5 points, which doesn't matter because I'm playing anyway. I'll take 5 points each, just so don't screw everything up, Scott. Don't anger the Rap Godz by not taking 5 points to each player. Okay. Thoughts on The Hustler, Jordan asked about. That's a new game show. It's only in the US. I'm in Canada, so I can't watch it. I'd like to. I understand the idea behind it, the social deduction game, where one person knows the answers to trivia questions. That's about all I know, but I can't watch it because I don't live in America. So, okay. So final scores. Let's add them up. So we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 100 points for Lyriclips. Let's see if Wellingsworth can get to 100 points. So he's got 2 points for each yellow card that he played, which I don't know that he did many of those. 1, and 2, 2. So that's not great. And, let's get all of his points out here. So 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60. Oh, I forgot something. 70. 70 plus 4, 74 plus Philly, 84. He did not get 35 or more points, so he doesn't get his 15 bonus. 1 away, and it was all Lyriclips'. But Lyriclips did get 35, so she actually gets another 10. So she's got 110. So Lyriclips is the Rap God over Wellingsworth. And there we go. There's your game of Rap Godz. So there's some stuff that things I like. I like how it tells the story. I like that it uses the 3 decks of cards and the things on the cards convey with what's going on. I wish there was a little bit more thematic connection between what's on the card. I wish I felt more like I wasn't just looking at numbers and colors, but I engaged with what was going on a little bit more. So I missed that. But so there you go. I like this is neat. The track sliders for album and track is neat. The record looks neat, but I find it a little frustrating in play to try and track where your scores are. So it's a case where the aesthetics get in the way a little bit of the mechanics. I think my favorite challenge in the game is deciding when to spend 3 of your cards for the round to get 1 good card, because that means for the rest of the round, you're going to be greatly hampered on the choices that you have. So you have to decide when to pull that trigger. And if you want to do it early, you want to do it late. It's good to do because it gets some cards out of your hand so that you can get good cards for the next round. But deciding when to do it is interesting. The beef choice of do I spend my round to do nothing but hurt another player? Now, here's what's interesting about that. In a 2-player game, a beef card is functionally equivalent to a positive card. So either I'm going up or you're going down. Functionally, it's the same thing. Because there are certain reward points, you could keep someone away from one of those reward points with the beef card, and that's fine. But in a 3 or 4-player game, it takes a different tone, because in a 3 or 4-player game, I'm making one player lose points, but I'm giving up a turn. I'm giving up an opportunity to go up when I do that, which means let's say player 1 is attacking player 2. Player 1 is giving up a chance to go up. Player 2 is going down. Player 3 is unaffected by this. So in many ways, in a 3 or 4-player game, playing the beef card is much less of an advantage than it would be in a 2-player game, where it doesn't have that effect. But in a 3 or 4-player game, if I play a beef card on you, that person takes an advantage. In fact, there's a joke about that in games where I say, hey, let's you and him fight. And that gets people battling with each other, and you benefit from it. They've tried to offset that with the champ, which is always in play. So whoever has the most beef cubes gets plus 10 points. Is that a great enough offset? I don't know that it is. But that's something to think about in games. Whenever you have one player able to attack another player, what happens with those the player 3 and 4? Is it actually just benefiting them because they're not losing a turn and they're not losing any chips? So that's something interesting going on in the game. So there you go. There's Rap Godz. It came out on Kickstarter. You can probably still find it out there somewhere if you're interested in picking it up and exploring this world. Until then, I will talk to you on another episode of Board Games with Scott Live. Take care, and I'll talk to you all later.